Oh no. Hey cuties, PeachY here. Welcome back to a new video. And in this video, we are on a Rainbow High streak this week. Yesterday, we had a first look at the Shadow High sleepover dolls. And today, we have a first look also and full reveal at the new 2026 brand new characters introduced, Dazzling dolls. Are they good? Are they bad? All the tea. Let's get into it. So stay tuned, subscribe, and let's dive in. So a couple months ago, you might remember I made a video talking about Seeing Mounts reporting that we're getting a brand new line in 2026 for Rainbow High called Dazzling, introducing us to 5 brand new characters. And now in this video, we are going to take a look at all 5 brand new dolls here that have been revealed. The gimmick here, as you'll see, is basically that you have a bedazzler and you bedazzle your dolls with little gems, and that's it. That's the gimmick. Hey, at least there's no slime. At least there's no like glitter legs and stuff. The dolls do have full articulation, you know, except the wrist joints. But I think we've moved on. We've just accepted the fact that they're not going to give us wrist joints unless it's a collector doll, like with the recent Shadow High collector dolls. Anyway, yes, like I mentioned, these are 5 all brand new characters introduced into the lore of Rainbow High, so that does open up questions as to if they will be utilized as new characters in the 7th season of the animated series, web series of Rainbow High on YouTube. We'll have to wait and see if they remember to introduce us to these characters or if they will just not utilize them and just forget them, like they did with Lily Cheng. Remember Lily? She never got introduced into the animated series. She never got used there. We never saw her once. We never saw any of the Shadow High series 3 characters used in the animated series. So yeah, a lot of characters have joined that list of never showing up. So hopefully this time we do get a little more backstory to these characters, because so far, really, like lore wise, story wise, we know nothing. We know nothing about these characters except that I guess they like sparkles. They like sparkles, and a lot of these characters also sound French. But yes, let's get into each individually, because my first impressions, yeah, I was I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't blown away. We'll get into specifics at the end, like what I think about what's really happening here with like Rainbow High, and like a hot take, like I feel like Rainbow High is entering like a mundane kind of mediocre stage in its evolution. Like we had the golden years, you know, then we had the reboot. It was a shift, but at least we still had like quality and stands, and now we're hitting that kind of stage of Rainbow High where it's just kind of like they're just on autopilot. They know what they want to do, which is gimmicks and basic designs, and they just keep giving us more of this and new characters that they're not utilizing. So it just seems like they're on autopilot. So, but again, we'll talk more in depth later. For now, let's try and be positive and talk specifics about each character. Okay, now starting off here with Genevieve Bleu, you know, blue, but just in French. We actually only have one stock photo here of her, and it's this picture here of her in the packaging. So we'll just talk about her first, because yeah, we only have one picture. And again, I'm sure that we'll have more stock photos like in a couple hours, and I will have missed it completely. But you know, I mean, basically we do get to see everything about her here anyway, except the shoes, but we see her shoes in another photo. So you know, basically what we see here is what you get. Other stock photos wouldn't really change my mind anyway about how she looks, because we already know how she looks. So you know, it sucks we don't have all the stock photos, and the stock photos aren't even high quality for the other girls, but even so, we can still clearly see what they're gonna look like. So I don't think higher quality stock photos are gonna change much of my opinion here, other than they would have just been nicer high quality. But Genevieve, I have to say, wow, I love her name. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, I love her name. Her name's so sweet. I mean, whenever do we hear a doll character called Genevieve? Like, I feel like we never get to hear that name be used for like doll brands and lines. So I'm happy that they used the name for Genevieve here. It's nice. It's really fitting. It's classical, really cute. Not a doll herself. I like the color. It's sapphire, you know. The color theming here reminds me of Elo Surprise OMG Victory, that doll from like Core Series 8. I don't know. It was like the one of the last series. Core series. So if you know what I mean, then you know. The color theming of that character Victory is also like blues and like highlight like color neon colors basically. So it's very similar that way. The face sculpt for her here, Genevieve, is like I believe Margot's face sculpt from Pacific Coast, because it's like a little bit more elongated slightly. So that is unique. Her hairstyle is like a Ariana ponytail moment. Her dress is just one piece. It's a fine dress. It's fine. Is it spectacular? No. Is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. I don't hate it. It's just very simple. Very simple. Her shoes are simple. She is very simple. The one thing you'll keep seeing here is that none of these characters really have any accessories, any jewelry, anything at all, except for the doll, except for the dress itself and the shoes. Like, none of these dolls have earrings, bracelets, necklaces, painted nails, stockings, socks, or hair accessories, or belts, or like nothing except for one character. But except for that one character we'll get into later, none of the other characters, none of the other 4 dolls have any sorts of jewelry, accessories, nothing, nada. So that really, to me, that, really disappoints me. But anyway, I think except for her name, what I like most about her is, I guess, the color, which is very like sapphire. And I don't think we've had a doll in this color theme before. I mean, we've had Kim, we've had Marina, we've had a couple like Oliver from the Shadow High Boy, but not like this. This sapphire blue, it's a bit more vibrant. It's not like dark. So yeah, it's nice. I like the color theming here. She's fine. Okay, next up we have Noemi Violette, and she's one of the many characters now that has the name Violet or Viola or Violette. It's just such a reused name in Rainbow High. It's just kind of boring. It's a joke, basically. It's a running joke now that the writers, whoever's giving these characters names, they're just bored. They don't know what they're doing. It's just so bland. Repetitive, like, where's the creativity? Does every character have to have a name that corresponds with their color theme? No, doesn't have to be. They could have been more creative. Anyway, so Noemi, I do like the name Noemi. It's very cute. She, to me, the first thing I thought when I first saw her is that her color theming here is very similar to Phaedra Westward's color theme, from Pacific Coast. Remember Phaedra? She has very similar to Phaedra. Phaedra's color theme, if you remember, was inspired by the sunset. So those colors here show up again with the dark purples, the little highlights of orange, like almost red hues. It's like very similar. I think that's why I like her more, because it reminds me of Phaedra. But she is still different in her own right. I'm pretty sure if we put Phaedra and Noemi here side by side, they will look different enough. So I'm sure about that. The skin tone is dark, but not as dark as Phaedra's, obviously. Her face sculpt here seems to be just the original face sculpt, and the eye as well seems to be the original eye sculpt, which I wish it was the different eye sculpt. I would have hoped that at least 3 of these characters would have had newer eye sculpts, because I do think, for me at least, I'm kind of tired. I'm tired of the original eye sculpt, the big eyes. Like, to me, I'm tired. We already have so many Rainbow High characters that have the original eye sculpt, so to me it makes sense that we would kind of like equal it out with giving more characters newer eye sculpts. But maybe that's just me, because the hairstyle is nice. But it's just nothing. It's nothing unique. It's just like a little bun, and the dress. She's like the only one who has like long sleeves, I think. So that's nice. I like the colors. I like the trim. The cut. I just wish the upper portion of her dress wasn't like a completely different hue of purple. Like, the upper portion of her dress is like cold purple, and then everything else is like a really warm tone purple. So to me that doesn't work. But it's not that big of a deal, and her shoes are very simple. So Noemi, she's cute. I like her more than Genevieve. I'm not sure why. But yeah, she's fine. I like her. She's still very simple, but better. Okay, next up we have Celeste here. Celeste Turquoise or Turquoise, whichever way you want to pronounce it. But also kind of French, Noemi, Violette, that's kind of French, Noemi, and then Genevieve, French, and now Celeste. Turquoise, like that's also kind of French sounding to me. So I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But kind of like a French theme here so far. Also kind of like a little tea party vibe going on. I've noticed because they're all wearing dresses. But I think that has more to do with because of the Dazzling gimmick than really like a tea party gimmick. Yeah, maybe that's just my head. But Celeste here, she also has the original eye sculpt, which is, big and round. And the eye color is like, very, very standard, kind of like purple blue that we always see. She reminds me of Bella, but just teal. So, yeah, she's fine. The hair is fine, It's nothing exciting. It's nothing special. It's just like a middle part. It's just like some highlights of pink and pastels, and it's fine. I do think this kind of shade of mint teal is unique. It's not similar to Zoe. It's not the same like other dolls that we've had, Misty and stuff. I'm pretty sure this is new. It seems more vibrant to me, and obviously the highlights make it different also. But the dress for her also seems to be one of the more better dresses from this collection, since it's kind of cohesive. It just works really nicely. And this is the doll that I was talking about before. She is the only doll out of all 5 here that has some kind of jewelry or accessory. She has a gold belt included here that goes over her dress. So yeah, she's the only one who has any kind of accessory in the shape of a belt here. Nothing else. No earrings, no bracelet, no single necklace, piece of nothing. Just a single gold belt, no painted details. And of course, because the whole gimmick here is that you're supposed to, I guess, give them details by adding bedazzlers, like little gems on the dress. That's why it's not detailed. That, I guess that's why the dresses are so plain, is because you are supposed to detail them, give them detail with the gems. But even so, I mean, come on. And then the shoes are just like pastel pink to match her hairstyle. Yeah, I'd say she's fine. The dress is not bad. The shoes are not bad. She's not a bad doll. It's just there's a lack of anything interesting here. Like, just give us a more interesting face. They should have given her a new face sculpt or a different hairstyle or just different eye color, different skin tone. They should have explored more, because here, this is just kind of very, very brilliant. Okay, next we have Vivienne Rouge, Rouge or Rogue, however you want to pronounce it. Now we're getting somewhere. This is what I meant with giving these characters different eye sculpts, because as you can see here, Vivienne does have a different eye sculpt. I believe it's the same eye sculpt like the Devious Twins had, or perhaps even Lily Cheng, or like Simone Summers from Pacific Coast, because it does look like different. It's not the OG eye sculpt, and to me that elevates this design, which otherwise with the original eye sculpt would have looked bland. So I do think that's why her face looks a bit more charming to me. We have some brown eyes, some red lipstick. I love her makeup. I do like it. At least she has something going on, something interesting with the graphic liner. Her hairstyle is pigtails, which is unoriginal, but it works. She's obviously red here, so she kind of reminds me of like the Queen of Hearts. I don't know why. Obviously because red, but the pigtails also to me kind of give her like a heart shape, and the dress also looks very kind of tea party-esque. Yeah, again, like all these dresses, because it's a gimmick with the bedazzler, they have to be dresses, I guess, and they have to be simple. But even so, it still reads more like tea party to me, like, oh, enchanted tea party, but just cheap because it's not really done well, and it's just very simple and basic. I kind of wish that they would have just not done the gimmick at all and just emphasized more like the theme of like, oh, tea party, and just given them more details and more accessories and jewelry and more interesting things, because that could have been something interesting and unique and more engaging but instead we got this where it's like a bedazzler gimmick, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're just gonna stick on these gems that are gonna fall off in like 20 hours anyway. Like, what? And they don't even give you like a ton of gems. Like, they gave you one strip and that's it. Like, Are you kidding me? These dolls probably cost like 25 bucks. Like, okay. What? So, but I like, yeah, like I said, I do like her face. I don't love the green in her hair color. Like, why is green in there? Like, it's just, it should not be there. The green does not vibe with me. But I do like the red, the shade of red. Although, I have to say, the overall hairstyle and like color theming reminds me heavily of Scarlet, Rose or Redwood. It's one of the Shadow High girlies from series 3. It's the one with the cherry coat. You know who I'm talking about. That doll also has pigtails, and this doll has pigtails, and they're both red themed, and yeah, they're just very similar. Even the face is very similar, so I don't know. It looks kind of copy paste to me, but obviously Shadow High has a different skin tone, and you know, at least she has layers. And with this one, Vivienne just has a dress on, and that's the only layer she has. It's just a simple dress. I do like the dress. It's nothing. Again, it's nothing. Wow, but it's fine. I like the silhouette, and her shoes are boots, which again, like, it's fine. It could have been more interesting, but like, okay, whatever. But lastly, certainly not least, we have Adeline Rose, and you know, there's some kind of irony here where, of course, the pink character gets the best treatment, and she obviously looks the best out of all 5. I think, just objectively speaking, the face card, 10 out of 10, the hair, 10 out of 10, the dress, to me, it's the best dress out of all 5. Even the shoes are, yes, you can argue the shoes look weird or but at least it's something new and unique and creative. So 10 out of 10 in my book. And so across all boards, she's a 10. So, I mean, again, is it a little like predictable that MJ would give the pink character all the best treatment, and of course the pink character will look the best? I mean, yeah, again, it's predictable. It always seems to be the case, unlike with other characters, like other color themes. I'm not surprised. But even so, I have to say, this is a gorgeous doll. Adeline Rose. You know, we've had plenty of other pink dolls that are kind of rose themed in Rainbow High, like Sabrina St. Quartz, or I'm kind of looking over right now. Brianna Dolce is like bubblegum pink, but she, like, in person, she's not that vibrant. She's also kind of like pinkish rose, but it's definitely more vibrant. Who else? We also got we got Carla Choupette, which was a very light baby pink, you know. Minnie Choi from the Royal 3, also very pastel pink. Oh, she's a gorgeous shade. Who else? We had Bella, obviously Bella Parker, but she was more of like a just pink, but pastel pink, you know, vibrant enough, but not vibrant, too vibrant. Fin Rosado, obviously, also kind of rose themed. So we've had plenty of like rose themed pink dolls in Rainbow High, but Adeline Rose here, I do think, to me, feels the most like rose quartz. Again, Sabrina St. Quartz, is that her name? Sabrina St. Cloud? No, Sabrina St. Cloud, not St. Cloud, St. Quartz. Sorry. So Sabrina from the Royal 3, she is supposed to be rose quartz, but rose gold, girl, so many rose gold, but Adeline Rose here also feels kind of rose gold to me. I'm not sure. I'll have to get her in person, and I'll have to compare her in person to the other pink girlies, but I have to say, even if she is comparable to other color themes we've had so far, I love the face. I love her bright blue eyes against her tan, against the really faded pink. I love the crimps, even if they look messy out of the box. I don't care. I love the little hint of edginess with the silver zipper on her like torso. Are you kidding me? And usually I don't think I love the green on the edges of her skirt. I don't love it, but because it's also green in her hair, it kind of matches. Weirdly enough, it's gonna, again, giving tea party vibes. But I think overall she's the best. I love her. I even though she's very simple, and she could definitely use some jewelry and accessories and like a handbag and maybe some wrist joints and maybe some head, you know, like hair accessories. She's still amazing. Like, I love her. I really do. So what do I think? Is this an amazing collection? No. Are these dolls? Yes, they're certainly dolls. Are they wearing dresses? They certainly are. So are these good? I don't know. They're not bad. I don't think they're horrible. Certainly not. Like, will I get them? Yes, I will. I don't hate myself enough to not get them. You know, like, I don't hate them. that much where I'm like, oh, I don't want to get, like, no, they're cute. Like, Adeline obviously is my fave, and then the other four are differing levels of fine to me. But something I've realized is that this collection reminds me of LO Surprise OMG Queens. Obviously, Queens had more details, more layers, more everything, and doll stands as well. Thank you very much. But I'm talking like specifically with the color theming. They're very similar, you know, and silhouettes, you know, very over the top, very like Tea Party-esque, you know. Again, Queens was better, obviously, but just like it reminds me of the Queens line for whatever reason. And then I realized I also feel like there's a parallel here between what's happening with Rainbow High and what happened with OMG Dolls, where, you know, OMG Dolls like had a huge high with the remix line, and then it just kind of like went stale, and it never was the same. And now with Rainbow High, you know, they had the reboot, and now it's also not the same. But now, to me, it also feels like it's just getting more stale and more disingenuous and just less creative in every way possible. Like, we're getting less articulation, and when we do get articulation, it's just the bare minimum at the elbows or knees. We no longer get stands, almost never, which is a big thing to me that really shows a decline in trust for Rainbow High. And then obviously designs, like they're just not as good as they used to be. So it just feels like the designers are kind of like on autopilot, you know, over at the Rainbow High design team. I'm not sure who's designing these dolls. Honestly, I would love to know, because I would love to know what they're thinking and like, you know, what their, you know, thought process is behind these dolls and like the gimmick and like certain choices, right? It's always fascinating to understand what designers think of and like what, you know, where they are coming from, especially because they don't decide the budget. They don't decide lots of things that usually the higher ups decide, and that's why some decisions look, you know, questionable. It's because of the higher ups, not because of the designers themselves usually. But even so, to me, this feels very bland. It feels very safe, too safe. Too safe. Like, are you kidding me? No earrings? No earrings. You're telling me that the only way that we can get earrings on these dolls is by bedazzling the ears to look like earrings? Are you kidding me? MGA? What? You're telling me that I have to stick these gems on my doll's ears and pretend those are earrings? Oh, come on. Come on. That feels, to me, that feels almost like an insult. Like, really? Really? Wow. This is, wow. Let me guess. You want me to also create a bracelet out of those gems and wrap it around the wrist? Do you want me to also create a necklace and stick those gems around her neck? Like, what? Do you want me to create all the jewelry for her out of these bedazzlers? Like, I mean, okay, it's not the worst idea, but the point is, it's like, they cannot even give us jewelry anymore. Like, are you kidding me? And even the sheets of gems that they do give us here in these sets, it's just like one sheet. There's like not enough here. So it's like, okay. And again, no doll stands, which to me is a big no-no. I wish they had stands. I really wish they had stands. I don't care about the combs, but like the stands, please. Especially because they're new characters and new color themes, and like, what am I gonna do now? Yeah, but to me, this just feels like so bland, so like uncreative, and it just so safe. Again, Adeline is the best, and the other four are just differing levels of okay, fine, cute, but they're not special. I would be lying if they were special. They're not special. There's nothing special about these dolls. Again, Adeline is cute, but even she's not really like, wow, you know, like, will I still get them? Yes, I will. I will still get them. But it's just, I'm disappointed. Like, I really thought this collection would be a turning point, and, you know, perhaps see a rise of the old Rainbow High come back a little bit, you know, like just a little bit. But it really seems like they're not trying. They are not trying. This is just more of the same that they know that will get us just hooked enough, but not sold entirely. You know, it's just like intriguing us enough, but not enough. You know, it's like, oh, what are you doing here, MGA? Just give in. Give us what you used to give us. You know, like we will buy it. Like, I don't know what they're doing here. But yeah, this was disappointing to me for sure. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really disappointed. Anyway, that was all the Rainbow High news for today. Who's your fave? What do you think? Let me know down below, and I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, no pressure. Become an official cutie to support the channel if you're able to, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the adulty you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay peachy. Kisses.